Program Advisor is made up of two parts. One is the administrative piece that's web-based. Program administrators use this web-based portion to set up the programs, payouts, and so on. Then there's a second part for users on the iPad. The user's version works both on the iPad and on Windows PC. So starting out here, you see we have the menu page and three buttons. The first button is the repository. It is used to store documents, videos, and images. The second button is the PDF manual. The Program Advisor complete documentation is here if anybody has a question on how to do something. They can go right to the manual to look it up. The third button is the dashboard. I'm going to go into the dashboard. Here we're starting out and showing a summary of all the different types of programs we can do. Accounts sold, bottles, brand points, cases, and so on. For each one of these, you can see how many total programs, how many of the programs have hit and missed. We also show the percent achieved, my payout, and for managers, I can see the entire team payout. On the left-hand side at the bottom is a mini table that shows all the employees that directly report to this tier. So, if I'm at the top tier at this company, I have 2 users who are my direct reports. And for each of those, I can see how many programs they have, how many did they hit their goal, and how many did they miss their goal. And then on the bottom right, there's a graph showing for each of their program types, accounts sold, cases, and new accounts sold. For each of these, you can see the total number of programs and the programs that we hit our goal in. In Dive tab, this is called an overview page. It's a nice summary of information where I can quickly see what's happening. Across the bottom of this page, we have tabs, so I can see all current programs, active programs, and then I have a tab on the far right, all programs, where I can see all programs year to date and how I'm doing. So if I click on a tab, we'll see the numbers on the screen change. If I click on all programs, you'll notice the numbers are much bigger because I'm looking at all of the programs. As a manager, I might want to drill down. I want to drill down into the employees that are listed on the lower left corner of the page. I start by clicking on John Sinclair, and now all these numbers change, and now these are John Sinclair's numbers. And these are all the employees that report to that manager, and I can see how each one of them is doing in all their programs. Then I could click on one employee, for example, Paul Bovine, and then I can see all of his programs and the results, all the payouts, and all the salespeople that report to him. I can click on Lisa Jackson. She's a team manager. These are her program results, and I can see all the salespeople that report to her. And I can ultimately go right down to the lowest level, which is the salesperson. They don't have anybody reporting to them, so the whole bottom is a graph. That's one example of the drill down features in Program Advisor. Next, I'm going back to the top and show you something else. In Dive tab, anything that's blue is diveable, so that includes all these numbers here. The blue bars on the charts, any of these numbers here within these blue rectangles, as well as these column titles. So if I quickly want to see all the programs, regardless of program type, I can see how I'm doing by just clicking on the column title, Programs, And here's the result. So I have every single program that's running currently. I can see if I met my goal or not with this nice indicator. I can see what my current sales are, and I can see what my goal is, and then my delta. There are quick views across the top so I can search by goal status, priority, program beginning state, ending, classification, and so on. And there are some others off to the right. This is an ad hoc page with the ability to do quick views. Let's go back to the Tier 5 overview page. So here we're looking at Tier 5 overview, and you can see that I have 4 case programs. Let's take a look at just those. Click on the 4, and now I just see my case programs. I can see how I'm doing in these. I can also click on any of these for more information. I can click on the segment ID for this program, roll-up test program, and this is the program information screen. This is where I'd want to go if I want to see the program dates, the date that the goal was calculated from, and if there are any minimum quantities. I can see who created the program, when it was last updated, how much was the goal calculated. There's a lot of information here, but this is also drillable. Within this program, I can see that I have 2 customers, 1 chain, 6 brands, 41 products, and 2 sales reps. And each one of these are clickable. So I can quickly go and see here. Here are the totals for the customers. Here's totals by all the customers that are in the program. Did they purchase or not? And if they did, I can see how much they purchased this year and how much they bought last year. So I can make some additional sales. I can do the same thing by chains. So I can go up and get my chain totals really quickly and see how my chain business is doing in programs. I can go right down to the product level. So these are all the products that are in this program. How am I doing this year compared to last year for each product? And lastly, by sales rep. So right down to the sales rep level, I can see their programs. And I can also get some reports. Here we have a program detail report, which gives the manager a summary of everybody in the program, the sales reps, their managers, everybody's goals, their current variance, and if they've got a payout, and their ranking. We see their ranking within the program. And the last thing we can do here is a thing we call the program analyzer. This uses the ad hoc page. So it kind of drills into the program. And this is where the end user can do a lot of their own drilling and diving. It starts off diving by brand. So for all of the brands in the program, it shows you total cases, total revenue, total profit, and total number of accounts. But maybe you didn't want to dive by brand. You wanted to dive by something else. You can change that. Say maybe you wanted to dive by customer city. Here's the same information, only totaled by city. And then within a city, maybe I want to look at only the customers from New York City. If you open up this yellow tab here, expand the dive dimensions, I can see that in New York, I have 2 customers. I can click on the 2, and now here's those customers. I could go on and see which products they bought and so on. I can keep going as far as I want to.